Nine Flames Sovereign Chapter 41, Bone Crusher. Han Rong trembled all over, crying and regretting. Right now, Han Rong hurriedly looked pleased. Haha, I was wrong, Han Feng, you have a lot, please forgive me. He didn't want to be torn by bursting chrysanthemum again. Han Feng just let out Han Rong with a cold snort. Not long after that, the 10 games were over. Han Yutong also changed clothes and returned. Instructor Lin coughed twice. It's time for the challenge, but who wants to challenge? Everyone looked at each other. They watched the previous battles all the way. Of course, they knew that each of the 10 winners was not easy to provoke. The possibility of their success in the challenge is slim, except for Han Yutong stared at Han Feng angrily at the moment, and Han Feng was speechless. Will you challenge me to take revenge? It is a pity that Han Feng guessed wrong. Han Yutong is not a fool. Although he was forced to admit defeat because of the springtime, Han Yutong also admitted that if he continued to fight, he was not Han Feng's opponent, and challenging Han Feng would mean losing the qualifications for the family trial. After all, one person only has one chance. Han Yutong challenged the weakest of the 10 and quickly replaced him. Han Rong almost failed to keep the position of the 10 members of the family trial. It was very dangerous. Han Feng also made a cold sweat for Han Rong. Instructor Mu's cold voice sounded abruptly. Since all 10 have been selected, I will go to the martial skill pavilion with this instructor to select martial arts. Remember, each of you can only choose one, and you can only use basic martial arts. With your current strength, don't think about human-level martial arts, you still can't cultivate. According to the rules set by the family, each of you still has a second-level pill. During the family trial, you represented the Han family. Don't lose the face of the Han family, otherwise. Instructor Mu let out a few sneers. Han Feng and the others are fluttering. Han Ru immediately said loudly, the instructor can rest assured, we will not lose the face of the Han family. Han Lin and others, upon seeing this, immediately issued a guarantee. Instructor Mu's face was still cold, and he said lightly, follow me. The Han family martial arts pavilion is divided into 3 floors. The first floor is basic martial arts, from basic intermediate martial arts to basic martial arts as many as nearly 100 kinds. As for the inferior basics, those basic boxing techniques and basic leg techniques are just a slave city and are not precious, so they are not placed in the martial arts pavilion. The second floor of the martial skills pavilion, where the lower grade martial skills are placed. The third floor of the martial arts pavilion is a middle rank martial arts. The second and third floors are not so easy to advance. Whether it is a lower rank martial arts or a middle rank martial arts, they are extremely precious to the Han family and are the foundation of the Han family. As for the high-grade martial arts of the human rank, it is personally guarded by the patriarch, and is not placed in the martial arts pavilion. It is the first time for a group of young girls to come to the martial arts pavilion. All of them look curious and excited just like a hillbilly entering the city. Instructor Mu's cold voice sounded, you are limited to a stick of incense to choose martial arts. When everyone heard it, they immediately put away their curious eyes and concentrated on selecting martial arts. Instructor Lin was interested in Instructor Mu and said, I wonder what martial arts these little guys will choose. Instructor Mu's tone eased a little, whether it is Ningqiao Gong and Juingzong, they are all taught by our Han family. But each person's focus is different, which leads to the same understanding of some people. The mastery of the 2 martial skills of Gong and 9 Shadow Palm is very different. Let them find it by themselves this time, and they will definitely choose the ones they are more interested in. Once they are interested, they will naturally speed up their grasp. There are still 15 days before the family trial. I hope they can learn one more martial arts in these 15 days to help. Instructor Lin sighed. I don't know if it is good or bad to let them practice a basic martial art. For those who are difficult to break through human ranks, the benefits may outweigh the disadvantages, but for those who are easy to break through human ranks, every time you practice a martial skill, it is difficult to condense your inner strength into attribute junqi, and it will delay the breakthrough time. Instructor Mu shook his head slightly. There is no way, the city lord's reward this time is too rich, a human yuan fruit, but it can add a strong human rank. A person's low-grade martial skills can make our family more fundamental. Don't look at the reward on the surface, but in the long run, it will greatly widen the gap with other families. Instructor Lin was a bit bitter. This is the suffering of our low-level family. If it is a family of hundreds or even thousands of years, how can you take this reward in mind? Not to mention the size of Instructor Lin and Instructor Mu, Han Feng is now waiting for martial arts on the basis of concentrating on finding suitable for him. The basic martial arts required by Han Feng is at least not inferior to the condensing claw skill. Is the same basic martial arts, and there are also strong and weak points. Ning claw skill and 9 shadow palm are top grade among the basic martial arts, but they are not top class. Soon, Han Feng couldn't move his eyes anymore, staring at a secret book. Bone Breaker. I heard from my father that the Han family has 3 top-notch basic and superior martial arts, and it is very difficult to practice. Even the strong in the later stages of the mortal stage can hardly reach the realm of xianxia. It is a warrior in the early stage of the human rank, and it takes a lot of effort to cultivate to great accomplishment and even consummation. But the basic and first-class martial arts are just a tasteless for human-level martial artists. www.mtlnovel.com. The weak ones are difficult to cultivate to a high level, and the strong ones can't stand it. These 3 basic and first-class martial arts are so buried. Bone Smasher is one of the 3 top-notch basic martial arts. What does Han Feng want? Isn't it just to wait for martial arts on the basis of great power? Han Feng pondered. From the perspective of my previous aptitude upgrade, the higher my aptitude, the more suitable the martial arts from practice, and the rapid progress. If it weren't for my aptitude to rise from the 4th class low grade to the 3rd class limit, it would be slightly better than Han Ru. I am afraid that the claw condensation technique would not be so easy for me to cultivate to the perfect state. No matter how difficult it is to cultivate this bone crusher, as long as my aptitude improves, I am afraid that I will not be able to practice. Thinking of this, Han Feng determined the martial arts to practice. Soon, an hour was up. Instructor Mu asked everyone to record the martial arts they wanted to practice, and then left. Instructor Mu issued a second-level pill to everyone, and then said, "Let this instructor see the martial arts you selected." Han Ru came out first. 9 sharp palm, yes, it is slightly more powerful than 9 shaded palm. With the experience of 9 shaded palm, you should save half of the time to cultivate to perfection. Instructor Mu nodded to express satisfaction. Soon, many people walked over. Most instructors of Mu are quite satisfied, but some instructors of Mu are contemptuous. Hanley is one of them. The martial arts selected by the Korean army are only basic and intermediate martial arts, and they are extremely prominent among the first-class martial arts. In the words of Han Lai, his understanding is average, and he is naturally better than ordinary people, but compared with Han Lin and Han Feng, he is inferior. If you choose the basic martial arts, I don't know how long it takes to practice. He had a barely qualified aptitude, so he chose more basic martial arts to increase the difficulty of breaking through the human rank. God knows how long it will take to break through the human rank. Anyway, once you break through the human rank, the basic martial arts will be useless. This thought is plausible. At least Instructor Lin, Han Feng and others feel normal. For the rigorous and strict nature of the Instructor Mu, it is a manifestation of lack of fighting spirit and self-motivated. Facing the challenge of breaking through the human rank, he was so afraid, and even deliberately chose a low-level basic martial arts, and his future achievements were limited, at most the peak of the human rank. Therefore, Instructor Mu looked down on Han Lai. In fact, if Instructor Mu is extremely strict, he asks the people he teaches to put perseverance and fighting spirit in the first place, and would not put the cultivation of Han Ru, Han Yutong and other girls higher than the boys. After all, on the girls' side, except for Han Ru's aptitude, which is a low-grade 3rd class, the others are not much different from Han Rong and others. Han Yutong's aptitude is not as good as Han Lin, but in the end, his internal strength cultivation is almost the same. Soon, I arrived at Han Feng. Bone Breaker. Seeing the Bone Smasher martial arts, both instructors Mu and Lin changed their faces. Instructor Lin hurriedly said, "Han Feng, this martial art is obtained from our Han family. No one can practice in the middle stage of the mortal stage to the stage of Xiaocheng. At the end of the stage, the Xiaocheng is close to the Dacheng. How did you choose this? Instructor Lin was very angry, even regretful. I knew it a long time ago, and I gave some advice in the martial arts pavilion. Instructor Mew stopped Instructor Lin, and said in a deep voice, Windy boy, are you sure you want to practice this martial skill? If you regret it, I can make your choice again. Han Lin pulled Han Feng from the side, choose a new one. This bone smasher is very difficult to cultivate. It's only 15 days. You may not even be able to reach Xiaocheng. A bone smasher of this level will increase our strength. Not much, even wasting your 15 days of cultivation time. Han Feng smiled and said, thank you, cousin, but I won't change it. Isn't it just a bone-shattering hand? Don't worry, I will show you success in my cultivation. Immediately, Han Feng turned his head and solemnly said to Instructor Mew, Instructor Mew, I don't plan to change, the practice of cultivating broken bones is set. Instructor Mew looked cold. If this is the case, then don't regret it. Although his tone was cold, Instructor Mew's eyes flashed with admiration. What about the difficulties? Just shrinking from the difficulties, then practice a shit. The 10 girls taught by Instructor Mew also inherited some of Instructor Mew's personalities, and their impression of Han Feng changed drastically for a while, and even a slight strange flashed in Han Ru's eyes. Instructor Lin looked at Han Feng blankly, and smiled bitterly for a long time. It's nothing, you are really a stubborn temper, I wish you can break the record. Han Feng started a joke at this moment. Instructor Lin, have I broken few records? Instructor Lin was startled, and suddenly laughed. 9 flames different fire is the first layer. Han Feng took out the second level pill, refining it into a source liquid and taking it. This time Han Feng's strength has greatly improved, even if it is a second level pill, it was successfully refined by Han Feng without much effort. After taking, the inner strength of the 4 main veins in Han Feng's body went further, at the peak of the peak, and could break through at any time to enter the 5th main vein. Han Feng did not refine the 3rd level magic core at this time. After obtaining the 3rd level magic core, Han Feng deliberately searched for some information about the 3rd level magic core. After searching, Han Feng discovered that he had too simple thinking about the magic core. As far as the magic core of Warcraft is concerned, humans cannot directly absorb it. For this reason, humans have to use a special method to use the magic core, which is to make a pill. Many of the pill that can improve the cultivation base need magic core to cooperate. A magic core, combined with other precious elixir, can refine several or even dozens of the same level of pill. The 3rd level magic core itself is a mutated magic core. Even if there is no elixir, Han Feng guesses, it is equivalent to at least 3 3rd level pill. Don't forget, the source liquid of the melting pot of all things can be used for 10%. 3 3rd level pills, just thinking about it, and knowing that its energy is huge, Han Feng does not intend to refining and taking it until the 5 main veins are opened. Pieces of low-grade and low-grade spirit stones were thrown into the all things wrong Yan cauldron by Han Feng. The red source liquid flows out and is put into the jade bottle by Han Feng. A trace of perseverance flashed in Han Feng's eyes. This little energy is almost enough, I must make a smooth breakthrough. 2 days later. Boom boom boom. There was a rumbling noise from Han Feng's body, and the clothes on his body suddenly scattered and turned into rags. Han Feng is so naked. Sitting cross-legged naked, gradually, the booming noise gradually weakened. Han Feng exhaled, and he smiled suddenly. Sure enough, he has broken through. The 5th main channel has been opened up, and his realm has stabilized a little bit. It is estimated that Han Lin is at this level now. If Han Lin is in front of me at this moment, Yu reading www.yuakanshu.com is afraid that his face will be more tangled. A breakthrough in his cultivation, Han Feng finally began to refine the 3rd level magic core. This refining takes nearly 2 days. Seeing the red source liquid refined by the 3rd level magic core, Han Feng was excited. This red source liquid was still only a bottle. The source liquid of this bottle is extremely viscous, completely different from the dilute water before. Han Feng believes that just one drop is much stronger than the previous one. Han Feng calmed down quickly, and then started to swallow it impatiently. Wow! The inner strength in the body is like a surging river, constantly rushing. The unprecedented powerful energy has allowed Han Feng's internal strength cultivation to grow at an astonishing rate. One day later, Han Feng's inner strength cultivation base stabilized to the extreme. In another day and a half, Han Feng's inner strength cultivation base broke through again, reaching 6 main veins. 2 days later, the 6 main veins also reached their extremes. At this moment, Han Feng suddenly stopped. The swallowing of the source liquid does not mean that the foundation is unstable. This is the horror of the melting of all things. Can grow so much at one time, but Han Feng's control of his internal strength cultivation is not perfect. For example, the attack originally only consumes 50 energy units of vigor, but Han Feng is very likely to hit 70 or 80 units, which is a waste of 20 or 30 units of vigor. This has a great influence on the overall combat power. Han Feng's eyes flashed. It's time to practice bone-crushing hands. With my current low-grade third-class extreme aptitude, it is a dream to cultivate the bone smasher to perfection within 5 or 6 days. Fortunately, I have the 9-flame sky fire tower. The third layer of the 9-flame sky fire tower is the House of Time. As long as I have enough source liquid, I can spend a lot of time in the third space. However, the House of Time needs too much source liquid, and the first layer of the 9 flames different fire art must be cultivated to the top to support it. Han Feng estimated that it would take the House of Time to support it for a few days, and the source liquid needed would be possible for him to cultivate to the middle of the late mortal stage. But Han Feng did not feel distressed, nor did he have the idea of using all of these source fluids for himself, so why nothing else could be used. Han Feng himself is now soaring because of his cultivation base, and in just a few days, he has no way to fully control his body energy. To be in perfect control, it takes a few days to adapt. After adapting, continue refining without delaying his own practice. Secondly, since the 9-flame sky fire tower is divided into 7 layers, it is naturally useful, otherwise it would be fine if only one layer is separated. The first layer of Han Feng's 9 flames different fire art is close to the peak. This time, it didn't use much energy to reach the top. The first level of the 9 flames different fire art is cultivated to the top, which means that any inferior spirit stone can be refined. At the end of the mortal stage, the inner strength condenses the fire attribute Junchi to produce a mortal fire that is unique to the Korean style, and then condenses with the mortal fire generated by the 9 flames different fire art to merge into a more powerful mortal fire. By then, as Han Feng's cultivation base gradually rises, the low-grade medium, low-grade high-grade, low-grade high-grade and even top-grade spiritual stones can all be refined into source liquid, which can be absorbed 100% without any waste. As for the middle-grade spirit stone, it needs the blue jade fire of the second layer of the 9 flames different fire art to be refined into the source liquid. However, Qingluan jade fire already belongs to the different fire level, and it cannot be produced by practicing in retreat. The first level of the 9 flames different fire art can rely on the cultivator to successfully cultivate, but the second, third, and even the highest 9th level afterwards all need the help of fire attribute spirit objects to successfully practice. For example, human-level spirit fruit like Huiangguo. Han Feng had already planned himself, and when the family trial was over, and his cultivation level could be further broken through, Han Feng planned to go out and explore the news of the fire-attributed spirit fruit. Cultivate the first level of the 9 flames different fire art to the top level, leaving a quarter of the energy left. Han Feng first sends the remaining source liquid to the second layer. The second floor of the 9 flame skyfire pagoda is a spiritual spring for upgrading aptitude. Because of the huge energy this time, the condensed red spiritual spring is much darker than the previous time. Han Feng immediately entered the Lingquan to absorb, continuously improving his qualifications. However, the promotion will not be successful in a short time. Every day, Han Feng also takes time to refine the lower-grade spirit stones and practice the bone-crushing hand. After having more source liquid, Han Feng finally transported the source liquid into the third layer. The third floor of the 9 flame skyfire tower finally opened. The third layer of space, Han Feng entered here, surrounded by a gray scene, and could not perceive everything, as if there was nothingness all around. Here, the passage of time cannot be sensed at all. When the source liquid of the third layer is consumed, it will be automatically sent out. Through inheriting memory, Han Feng learned that this third level house of time is divided into 10 levels, and it is currently only the first level, which is about 1.5 to triple. In other words, the current House of Time is the highest 1 day outside, and only 3 days inside. The source liquid was transported to the third floor space, and Han Feng directly set the House of Time to the highest point of the current first level, which is 3 to 1 time. The consumption of the source liquid visible to the naked eye made Han Feng frown. In this case, even if I take time out every day to refine the lower grade spirit stones, I can open the House of Time every day for less than a day. Forget it, the spirit stones are currently limited, and it is enough to maintain this speed. In the House of Time, Han Feng began to practice bone-crushing hands. With the low-grade third-class extreme aptitude, and with the experience of cultivating claw condensation, bone crusher can easily be used. Whether it is the bone-shattering hand or the claw-condensing skill, the kung fu is on the hands, and they have some things in common. This saves a lot of time for Han Feng to practice. Not much time to practice, Han Feng was shocked by the powerful attack of the bone crusher. The bone smasher is divided into 3 levels. The first level is the xianxia realm. Just grab one of the enemy's hands or one part. Under the bone smasher burst, the bones in the entire arm or one of the parts. The surrounding bones will be broken. Bone shattering hand, it can be called a big ultimate move among the basic martial arts. The second level is the realm of dacheng. No matter where you grab it, the bones of half of your body will shatter. As for the third level, that is, the realm of perfection, even if you just grab your wrist, as long as you are upped according to the internal strength of the bone-crushing hand, the bones of the entire body will be broken. It can be said that fighting against a warrior who cultivates bone-shattering hands, one must not let this warrior catch a certain part of the body, otherwise he will suffer severe damage. If it is a bone-shattered warrior who has cultivated to the perfect state, he will die suddenly. All the bones are shattered, it is impossible for a martial artist to be alive. Bone-shattering hand is also a small part of the basic martial arts that can threaten the human rank martial artist. If it weren't for the human rank martial artist to launch a long-range attack, www.mtlnovel.com, the bone crusher must also have a close attack. The bone crusher might be divided into the rank of human rank martial arts. Time is fleeting, 2 days have passed. Han Feng's qualifications have been raised to the second-class limit of inferior grade, and it will not take long to be able to improve again and enter the inferior first class. The improvement of his aptitude allowed Han Feng to grasp the soaring internal strength cultivation base in his body more quickly, and he was also more comfortable with the cultivation of bone crusher. Now bone smasher has been cultivated to the first level, which is the xianxia realm of bone smasher. If this kind of speed was learned by instructor Lin and other people who knew how difficult the bone smasher was to cultivate, it would definitely be shocked and speechless. 2 more days later, the red spiritual water in the second floor of the 9 Flames Skyfire Pagoda was almost clear. Suddenly, a strong suction came out of Han Feng's body, and all the scarlet spiritual water that was not much was sucked into Han Feng's body. At the same time, Han Feng's qualifications have been purified again, from the second class inferior to the first class inferior. The fierce inner strength erupted, and the clear spiritual water splashed out. Under the inner strength aura, Han Feng slowly opened his eyes. Breakthrough again. Now I am a warrior who has opened up 7 main veins. If I open one more channel, I will reach the mid-level peak. Alas, the clicks this week are good, but this is the reason for the website recommendation. In addition to clicks, the recommendation tickets and collections are too weak. It is not as high as the recommendation last week, and no coffee is ordered. It gives me a feeling that no one pays attention to the new book. Is this book going to hit the street? The mood is really chaotic now. In just a few days, from the 4 main veins all the way through to the current 7 main veins, the progress can be described as shocking. All this is because of the all things melting flame cauldron, with the help of the 3rd level magic core and the low-grade spirit stone. Han Feng controlled his inner strength and frowned. The inner strength cultivation base of the 7 main channels has not stabilized. I have managed to master 70 to 80% of the inner strength cultivation base of the 6 main channels before, but now because of breakthroughs, it has been reduced. There is not much time left in the next, and I will put all my energy on the control of the inner strength cultivation base and the bone crushing hand. First-class qualifications of inferior products are already the top qualifications among the inferior products. Middle-grade qualifications means that with sufficient cultivation techniques, it will be extremely easy to hit the profound stage all the way. But if you want to upgrade from a low-grade qualification to a middle-grade qualification, you must have a higher level of spiritual fountain, which is the spiritual fountain of the source liquid refined by the Qingluan jade fire. For now, it is impossible. In other words, when he hadn't practiced the 9 flames different fire art to the second level, Han Feng's aptitude could only be in the first class and could not be improved. Once again entered the House of Time to practice bone-crushing hands, Han Feng clearly felt the difference. Han Feng's eyes revealed a touch of joy. I thought it was the limit to reach the realm of great achievement before the family trial. Now it seems that reaching the realm of perfection is not impossible. Before practicing condensing claw technique, Han Feng only took a little more than a month to reach the perfect state. Now that I have experience, it naturally saves a period of time to cultivate the bone smasher. Coupled with the benefits of the House of Time and the upgrading of aptitude, the bone smasher that is difficult to cultivate was quickly hit by Han Feng to the realm of Dacheng. The realm of consummation impact. The afternoon before the family trial. In the first floor space of the 9-flame Skyfire Tower, the fluctuation of Han Feng's body surface has stabilized. The internal strength cultivation base of the 7 main veins has finally stabilized. With my current cultivation base, coupled with the martial arts of the condensed claws consummation and the bone crusher approaching consummation, it is estimated that I will not fall into the disadvantage of the early stage of Zonvanian. Quote, if I attack with mortal fire again, the middle and late stages of mortal stage can also be killed. Even a warrior who is only 1 step away from the human rank at the peak of the late stage of the ordinary rank, is not without the power of a battle. At the realm of fan level, the middle level fan level is the most difficult to cultivate, and it is also the most time-consuming, and the difference in strength is the biggest. As for the early stage and the late stage of the mortal stage, cultivation is not that difficult, and the gap between them is not as big as the middle stage of the mortal stage. A flash back into the room, Han Feng left the room and walked towards a certain location of Han's house. Han Jiamen Practice Field. The monsters captured by the Han family are held here, from level 1 to level 4. As for level 5 monsters, they are not so easy to catch, so the Han family basically has none. These monsters are specially used to provide people like Han Feng to fight. But these beasts have lost their fighting spirit, and they are completely incomparable with those of the same level in the mountains. Although Han Feng is a little dissatisfied with this, he has no other way. Tomorrow is the time for the family trial, and now it is already afternoon. If you want to go to the Yufeng mountain range, there is not enough time to go back and forth. Master Feng, what's your order? The guard of the Han family guarding the monsters, seeing Han Feng immediately pleased him and asked. The previous Han Feng, these Han guards would naturally not be so dog-legged, but the current Han Feng, no one in the entire Han family knew that it was one of the 10 members of the family trial. It is not impossible to win the qualifications of the family trial, which one is not an elite among the Han family elites, and at least a middle-rank martial artist in the future, even a late human martial artist. For the current Han family ranks only about 100, most of them are still in the early stage of the human stage. The middle stage of the human stage is already an extremely remarkable existence, let alone the latter stage of the human stage. There are naturally people behind these guards, but as far as these future Han mainstays are concerned, they are far from enough. If it annoys these elites, it will be over. Facing the guards' doglegs, Han Feng was not proud of it. With the 9-flame Skyfire Pagoda, Han Feng's goal is the entire Great Jin Kingdom. As far as the entire Great Jin Kingdom is concerned, only by becoming a martial artist of the heavenly rank can one be regarded as a real strong. Han Feng said, choose a 3-level monster for me. I want to test my martial arts. The guard hesitated and said, Master Feng, level 3 monsters are very powerful, are you sure? These guards are still stuck in the impression that Han Feng's inner strength cultivation is just 4 main veins. Han Feng smiled and said, don't worry, it's just a level 3 monster that has lost its fighting spirit, and it's not a monster in the mountains. The guard thinks about it, too. The first level 3rd level beasts that have lost their fighting spirit in the family, and the mountains outside are the second-level peak beasts, and they don't necessarily win. Soon, the guard brought Han Feng to a huge cage with a huge leopard beast trapped inside. This is a mid-level 3 monster. The guard introduced, this is Hua Yunbao, a mid-level 3 monster. It has been 3 years since he was captured. When this Hua Yunbao was captured, it was still at the early 3rd level. Han Feng nodded clearly. The 3rd level mid-level monster is equivalent to a warrior who has opened up the 6 main veins. Because of the loss of fighting spirit, it will kill a warrior who can get through the 5 main lines. The cage was opened. After Han Feng entered, Hua Yunbao glanced at Han Feng lazily, without even lifting his head. Han Feng frowned. This fighting spirit has been lost too much. Reading www.uikanshu.com. Han Feng walked in towards Hua Yunbao. Hua Yunbao immediately looked at Han Feng vigilantly, but still did not move. Even as Han Feng approached, Hua Yunbao took the initiative to retreat, without any intention to attack Han Feng. Han Feng's eyes sank, and a suffocating breath came out. This evil spirit may be insignificant to Instructor Lin and others, but it is different to Hua Yunbao, who is in the middle of the 3rd level. Hua Cloud Leopard screamed, the vigilance in his eyes turned into fear, backing back again and constantly roaring in fear. When Han Feng approached again, Hua Yunbao finally couldn't help it, and suddenly pounced on Han Feng. Han Feng's body flashed, and he came directly to Hua Yunbao's side and grabbed it with one hand. Bone breaker. Click, click, click. Roar. Hua Yun Leopard let out a stern scream, and his entire body suddenly fell to the ground. Hua Yun Leopard's roar became weaker and weaker, and it didn't take long for it to disappear completely. Han Feng moved up and down. More than 80% and nearly 90% of the bones are broken. Well, it's only one step away from the realm of consummation. Out of the cage, Han Feng asked his guards to approach him, is there a new monster? This Hua Yun Leopard is too weak. The guards are in awe. Even if this 3rd level mid-level monster has no fighting spirit, it is still a 3rd level mid-level monster. So easy to kill Hua Yunbao. How many younger generations under the age of 15 in the entire Han family can do it? Is the 15 to 20-year-old youth in the general training ground, and half of them can't do it? Aware of Han Feng's extraordinary combat power, the guard immediately said, Master Feng, it was indeed a new monster that was caught a few days ago, but that monster is now very wild, and it is still the 3rd level peak monster. It is a warrior with 8 main veins. Be careful, you can get hurt, and you can even die in severe cases. Han Feng touched his chin and thought for a while, the family trial will begin tomorrow. It doesn't matter if some of your strength is exposed today. It just so happens that the family has more confidence in me. Thinking of this, Han Feng waved his hand, didn't you have you by the side? No matter how powerful the 3rd level monsters are, how can they be your opponents to the late masters of the mortal level? Han Feng's words made several guards smile suddenly. They are older. They are in their 20s or nearly 30, and some are even more than 30. They have only reached the late stage of the mortal stage at this age, and they have not even reached the middle stage of the late stage of mortal stage. There is little hope of breaking through the human stage in the future. It's amazing, that is, the level of 1 or 2 stars. This kind of strength, in the Han family, said high is not high, said low is not low, in short, it is the public. They are used to being humble, and now they are flattered by what Han Feng said. One of the guards patted his chest and abdomen fiercely, don't worry, Master Feng, your subordinates are swearing to defend Master. This is a larger cage than before. Inside the cage, fierce roars continue to be heard. Han Fengishi, what you want is this kind of beast. What kind of soft beasts were before? Master Feng, you must be careful later. The guard said with a solemn expression. Inside the cage, a tall figure rushed quickly, without waiting for Han Feng to enter. The cage had just opened a little, and the huge figure had already rushed over, and the ground shook with bursts of roar. Savage War Bear. Seeing this monster, Han Feng was surprised. Savage War Bear, among the low-level warcraft, it is definitely the hegemonic status. Below the 5th level of warcraft, there are very few war bears of the same level that can fight the barbarian war bear. Before the human level, human beings mainly used close-in attacks, and the same is true for monsters. Before the 5th level, they had no long-range attack ability at all, so they could only go head-to-head. The savage war bear is head-to-head, in close combat has an absolute advantage. The tall body and powerful claws are the advantages of the savage war bear. Savage war bear was born as a second-level initial beast, and it is a fourth-level adult. An adult savage war bear with a height of 5 or 6 meters. Now this savage war bear is more than 4 meters tall and is obviously very close to adulthood. Condensing claw power. Han Feng fought fiercely with the claws of the savage war bear, and then Han Feng's whole body was caught and flew out. Master. Several guards were taken aback, just about to take action, they were blocked by Han Feng's eyes. Who? The savage war bear stepped on the ground, roaring and continuing to rush towards Han Feng. Han Feng's right hand hurts, and his face is a bit distorted. This animal is too strong. It is difficult to take advantage of this animal by relying solely on claw condensation. The savage war bear's claws fell, and Han Feng's entire head was about to be scratched. At this moment, Han Feng twisted his body and escaped the attack of the savage war bear at a weird angle, and then Han Feng hugged one of the arms of the savage war bear with both hands, and his hands exploded. Bone breaker. Bone crushing hand, not just the right hand, both hands can play the role of bone crushing. The next moment, the savage war bear uttered a screaming scream. Apart from the pain, the savage war bear broke out fiercely, and the other claw slammed Han Feng into the air. If it weren't for Han Feng to resist in time, the whole belly would be torn apart. Rao is so, Han Feng also had a few more **** wounds on his chest. Han Feng continued to retreat, calmly watching the savage war bear wailing on the ground. Han Feng's bone-crushing hand has not reached the realm of completeness after all, and the barbarian war bear's body is also extremely powerful, so 1/3 of the bones are not broken. Han Feng looked secretly surprised. This barbarian war bear is really strong in physical quality, it's not dead. Han Feng immediately stepped forward, and his claw-condensing skill ended the life of the savage war bear. The surrounding guards opened their mouths. Although the Hua Yunbao was killed before, they can still bear it. After all, Hua Yunbao is a third-level mid-level monster that has lost its fighting spirit. But this savage war bear is still easily killed by Han Feng. This shock is not comparable to before. This savage war bear has just been captured. It is untamable and extremely powerful, no different from the monsters in the mountains. Forget it. But this savage war bear is still the third-level pinnacle, and it is about to enter the fourth-level existence. It itself is under the fifth level among the beasts, and belongs to the same level of overlord. Is still easily killed, it's too. Several guards did not fully recover until Han Feng left quietly, and took a breath. Looked at each other a few times, and quickly informed the top of the family. Han Feng's strength has progressed too fast. Such a genius is definitely the luck of the family and must be protected from death. Instructor Lin learned of all this and immediately went to the place where the savage war bear died. Instructor Mu also passed. Instructor Mu's face was seriously observed for a long time, www.mtlnovel.com, before he was quite shocked and said, "The second level of Bone Crusher is definitely the second level of Bone Crusher." Instructor Lin's face twitched fiercely. Not only the second layer, they have reached the peak of the second layer, and they are not far from the third layer. Fortunately, this **** is strong and strong, otherwise you have to be tossed to death. The two immediately told the house owner Han Yu and several elders. The elder stomped abruptly. "Patriarch, this kind of talent is really rare. As the old man sees, this kid must never participate in the family trial. It's too precious. If something happens in the family trial, that's it. A huge loss." The other elders couldn't help but nod their heads. Yes, this genius should be well protected until he grows up in front of everyone in the future. From the establishment of the Han family to the present, no, from the establishment of the entire city to the present, which one will have the strength to contend the late stage of entering the ordinary stage in just 2 months? This kind of strength development speed, as long as there is a technique, it is always provided, not to mention the mysterious stage, it is the ground stage, it is not impossible. When mentioning the ground steps, the eyes of the whole family became hot. For the little Han family, the Zontier is a strong person to look up to, and the ground step is a realm that cannot be expected. Han Yu couldn't laugh at this moment. The progress of his grandson's strength was too unexpected. Such a genius really couldn't make people willing to let go to participate in the family trial. Instructor Lin and Instructor Mu looked at each other. They never expected that the final result would be like this. Instructor Lin was a little anxious, and asked Han Feng to withdraw from this family trial. How could this be done? Patriarch, elders, brats can appreciate your feelings, but Han Feng absolutely cannot withdraw from the family trial. Instructor Lin said loudly. The four elders looked displeased upon hearing the words. Lin Yu, you are just an instructor, how can you make a loud noise in this place? Lin Yu immediately lowered his head. Subordinates, damn, I hope the fourth elders will forgive me. Lin Yu was scolded by the fourth elders, and quickly calmed down. This is the place for family discussions, and many major issues related to the Han family are discussed here. For the entire Han family, this is a sacred place, how can it be trampled on loudly? Han Yu said gently, Fourth, why bother to lose your temper? Instructor Lin is Fenger's instructor. He must know Fenger better than us. Lin Yu said so, I'm afraid there are some reasons. Han Yu said so, the fourth elder naturally let Lin Yu go. The four elders had some grudges with Han Feng because of things that happened in the past. At this moment, they realized the value of Han Feng, and naturally they had to work harder to ease the relationship between the two sides. Therefore, the four elders were the ones who most agreed with the opinions of the great elder. As for the idea of playing tricks to make Han Feng die in family trials because of grievances, it will only happen if his brain is sick or the grievances between the two sides have reached the point where they cannot be alleviated. Of course, if it is for certain interests, it will be the same, but the Han family's development is very short, and mutual interests are not entangled to the degree of a 1,000-year-old family. The grievances between the two sides were not big, it can be said to be very small, the four elders are not too mentally stupid to solve Han Feng. Han Yu said to Lin Yu, Instructor Lin, tell me why you can't. You know, if Han Feng tried something in the family, then the loss of our family is comparable to the time of Tiancheng more than 10 years ago, even more serious. Instructor Lin organized a language and said, Patriarch, elders, I can understand how you want to protect Han Feng, but I understand Han Feng's character well. It is precisely because he is not afraid of difficulties that Han Feng can be so short. Achieve such an achievement in time. Before there was no internal energy, Han Feng was the hardest person in the training ground. After having internal energy, Han Feng not only did not relax, but worked harder. While training in the Yufeng Mountains, Han Feng also took the initiative to find a more powerful monster. During this period, he experienced many difficulties, and he even almost bit off an arm by a monster once. As everyone knows, Han Feng mastered the condensing claw skill very quickly, but if he had not experienced many battles, he would not have mastered it so easily. Han Feng also invested a lot of faith in this family trial. If the family does not allow Han Feng to participate, this will obviously leave a shadow on Han Feng's character. The last point is the most important one. Patriarch, elders, we all know that there are certain powers hidden behind the Chong family. What kind of inner strength cultivation is Chong Wenhua now? Our spies can't find out at all. Instead, we have lost a lot. The Chong family is so concealed. This Chong Wenhua's internal strength cultivation is obviously not simple. The current situation of Han Feng can increase our Han family's confidence in winning. Without Han Feng, our Han family's confidence in winning is straightforward. Down by half. Once the Chong family takes the first place, the prestige of the Chong family will reach the highest in Renjiangcheng within a short period of time. I don't know how many talents will be recruited by the Chong family. It is true that Han Feng is practicing extremely fast, but who knows what kind of strength the forces behind Chang's family are. It is hard to support it alone. Only Han Feng is the only one who cannot possibly be able to contend. At present, only by increasing the prestige of the family and absorbing many talented people to increase the strength of the family can we compete with the Chong family. After saying a few words of Instructor Lin, everyone was stuck. Instructor Mu looked at Instructor Lin with brilliant eyes. This kind of insight, ordinary human ranks 4 and 5 stars are not available. Han Yu originally had the idea of hiding Han Feng, but now he doesn't have it. Han Yu sighed, that's right. If you don't experience wind and rain, you can never see a rainbow. If you really hide Han Feng and protect it perfectly, Han Feng might be better off. Others have high accomplishments. Don't talk about the previous things, it is still the Han Feng 10 who participated in the family trial. The other elders saw that Han Feng's grandfather was like this and had to give up. The next day, Han Yu led Han Yongxing and other instructors, Han Tianxing, Han Tianli, Han Tianmu, and Han Tiancheng, and 10 people who took part in the family trial, including Han Tianxing, Han Tianli, Han Tianmu, and Han Tiancheng, to the Yufeng Mountains. On the way, Han Yu and his party met with another big family, the Hong family. Haha, Patriarch Han, our Han family was ranked 3rd in the last family trial. This time we will be shameful. The head of the Hong family laughed loudly. In the last family trial, only 3 of the 10 people from the Han family returned, and one of them took the 2nd place. It was Han Mo, the son of Han Tianxing. Han Yu's grandson. Han Feng is just the 4th grandson of Han Yu. Han Yu smiled and touched his beard. This is not necessarily true. Han Yu smiled deeply. Information: the last time Han Mo participated in the family trial, Han Mo only opened up the 6 main veins. And this time, the face of the patriarch of the Hong family changed slightly. As the patriarch of the 3 major families in Renjiangcheng, he knew a little about each other. The patriarch of the Hong family knew that since Han Yu said that, he must have full confidence. And he also knew that Han Ru was born in the Han family. It is a pity that the Han family's secrecy measures are very good. Patriarch Hong's complexion quickly returned to normal, and then after the cloudy and sunny, he said, "Lao Han, tell you the truth, this time I was waiting for you on the road." Han Yu looked surprised. "Lao Hong, our relationship is not so good yet." The Hong family patriarch looked helpless. "You old fellow. Old Han, I ask you, our 2 families lost a lot of geniuses during the last family trial, haven't you doubted it? Even in recent years, many of the geniuses of our families, large and small, have had accidents." Han Yu's face was stunned, but he sighed in his heart. As expected of the Hong family, it seems that the Chong family is abnormal. Renjiangcheng was established less than 100 years ago. The Chong family and the Hong family were the first to settle in Renjiangcheng, and the Han family came from behind. Compared with the background, the Chong family and the Hong family are better than the Han family. If it weren't for Han Lin Han Feng, their Han family might not know it yet. Han Yu said solemnly, "Lao Hong, what do you mean? Let's talk now." Seeing this, the head of the Hong family knew that Han Yu must have also known some things about the Chong family. He couldn't help but be surprised. Given the background of the Han family, it shouldn't be. But the Chong family was the enemy at this moment, and the head of the Hong family didn't care about what the Han family did. After all, the Han family did not make that kind of despicable and ruthless means. The Hong family patriarch categorically said, "It seems that you also know old Han. Yes, according to my investigation, all of this has nothing to do with the Chong family." The head of the Hong family said categorically, "It seems that you also know old Han. Yes, according to my investigation, all of this has nothing to do with the Chong family." There must be a strong support behind the Chong family, but judging from the fact that our 3 major families are still in a tripartite state, such support is not high. Maybe it's just some people in the Chong family who are working for that force and haven't climbed to a higher position. But it's only now, what will happen in the future is still unknown. Old Han, in this situation, our 2 families must unite to suppress the Chong family, and strive to suppress the Chong family before the Chong family is really ready to support the Chong family. Otherwise, once Chang's family becomes the largest family in Renjiangcheng, with Chang's method, the fate of our 2 families. Patriarch Hong did not say what the end was, but from Han Yu's solemn expression, it was obvious that Han Yu could also guess it. Han Yu squinted his eyes slightly and nodded. "I agree to the union, but the specifics will need to be negotiated in the future. For the time being, I have to go through the difficult trial of the family first. We lost a lot last time, this time." The head of the Hong family laughed. "No matter how powerful the Chong family is, it is only one family. As long as the people of our 2 big families unite and help each other in the Yufeng Mountains, forgive him that the Chong family can't help us. I have secretly united a few small families. If this can still kill half of our geniuses by the Chong family, then we can just quit Renjiangcheng." Han Yu was secretly surprised, but he didn't expect that the head of the Hong family would secretly unite several small families. For a while, Han Yu was also very jealous of the head of the Hong family. Both sides came to Yufeng Mountain all the way. Yufeng Mountains, many families have come here. There are more than 100 families, large and small, in Renjiangcheng, and thousands of people gather here. Chang's home has also arrived long ago. There is a scar on the face of the patriarch of the Chang family. It is cut directly from the upper part of the nose to the right ear, very hideous. Han Feng saw this person in the crowd, and made a comparison in his mind. As a result, he found that although the three patriarchs are the same 10-star powerhouses, they really want to fight. This Chang patriarch may be the first. Just by looking at the evil spirit emanating from the patriarch of the Chang family, you know that this person is definitely not easy to provoke. When the patriarch of the Chang family saw Han Yu and the patriarch of the Hong family, he smiled grimly. Brother Hong, let your family members come and die again. Han Yu and Hong's patriarch's faces sank. Han Yu coldly snorted, Chang, are you too confident? Do you really think that your Chang family is the first? The head of the Hong family also sneered again and again. However, the two had a bad feeling in their hearts. No matter how unharmonious in the past, the patriarch of the Chang family has never been so direct. Is Mo Jingjia ready to do it? Still saying that this time a certain genius of the Chang family who participated in the family trial was so powerful that the patriarch of the Chang family would not consider the geniuses of their two families. How genius is this? No matter which one it is not good news. The Chang patriarch looked at the two jokingly, then let's wait and see. Other families around, all watched the three families clash with trepidation. They are only small families, and they want to live under the three big families. Once they bet the wrong treasure, it is likely to lead to the destruction of the family. Just look at which one wins at a time, and which one wins, then take refuge in which one. Many small family leaders have this idea. On the Chang family's side, Chang Wenjun's bitter gaze has been fixed on Han Feng. Han Feng looked at each other without fear. Chang Wenjun, with Han Feng's current strength, had long ignored him. Next to Chang Wenjun, Ji, a young man who is somewhat similar to Chang Wenjun, sneered, Fourth brother, this kid is really arrogant, he doesn't look at you at all. Chang Wenjun said bitterly, HMPH, I will enter the mountains later, I will let him know the fate of offending me, I will cut off his limbs. Chang Wenhua smiled. Don't worry, so many second level and third level pills are not for nothing. You are now a warrior who has opened up the 6 main veins, and your realm is stable. As long as you don't face Han Ru, there are so many people here. No one will be your opponent. Chang Wenjun smiled flatteringly. Han Ru, that girl is your third brother, I wish your third brother will come true. Han Lin stabs Han Feng. It seems that the fellow Chang Wenjun resents you very much. Chang Wenjun's third brother Chang Wenhua is not easy, and I can't find out the specific cultivation level. You have to be careful. Quote. If something happens to you, our Han family will suffer a great loss. Han Lin had already learned from his father Han Tianmu about Han Feng's killing of the savage war bear. In addition to secretly scolding Han Feng for being abnormal, he, like Han Yu and several elders, regarded Han Feng extremely seriously. It is the hope of the Han family in the future. Han Tianxing, Han Tianli, and Han Tianmu are asking about Han Tiancheng. If it weren't for Han Feng this time, Han Tiancheng wouldn't have planned to leave the family at all. The three of Han Tianxing finally reunited with the 4 brothers and 4, so how could they give up so much time? You need to know that in the Han family, Han Tian became the father and 3 brothers without causing trouble, but lived a life similar to imprisonment. www.mtlnovel.com, easily did not take the initiative to meet his father and 3 brothers. Han Tianxing and others knew about Han Tiancheng's painstaking efforts, and never went to see Han Tiancheng blatantly, at best secretly take care of Han Tiancheng. Han Tianxing looked excited. 4th brother, Fenger is now more and more valued by the family. As long as Fenger takes the first place this time, our 4 brothers will be able to show up at Han's house, and see who dares to gossip. Yes, as long as Fenger brings enough benefits to the family, those old guys will not be able to run on us with things more than 10 years ago. Han Tianli said with a smile. More and more families arrive, making the noise. There are conversations everywhere. There are joint discussions between family leaders, and there are also hostile family leaders who insult each other. Suddenly, the sound of discussion suddenly dropped. The voices of the three patriarchs sounded in unison. See the city lord. The city lord is a person sent by the imperial family of the Great Jin Kingdom. Although they will not participate in the disputes between the three major families, the three major families still want the city lord to be in the highest position. Chengju, a middle-aged man in his 40s, is far from comparable to the three patrons. Moreover, the city lord is the real first powerhouse in Renjiangcheng, a 12-star master. The city lord replied to the three patriarchs before saying, "Hee, it seems that you are all ready, then let the boys who participated in the family trial come forward." There are 10 people in each family, and in a short time, more than 1,000 boys gathered in front of the city lord, bending slightly, maintaining respect to the city lord. The city lord looked around for a week and said loudly, "Young people, you can come to participate in the trial of the Renjiangcheng family, which shows that you are all the elites of each family, and I am the talents of the Great Jin country. Presumably you have received news from your respective families. Yes, this time for the first place in the trial, this city lord will give a man yuan guo, and at the same time allow this first person to enter the martial arts pavilion of the city lord mansion to select martial arts. Hee, everyone, you have to work hard." The crowd hummed. The martial arts of the same level are also divided. Is like the superior martial arts on the same basis, the claw condensing skill is not comparable to the bone crusher. The city lord's mansion is a member of the country. Is the martial arts in the martial skill pavilion in the city lord mansion simple? Even if it is a lower rank martial art, its power is definitely stronger than the lower rank martial arts of the Han family, Chong family, and Hong family. A group of teenagers, their eyes are hot. Even Chong Wenjun and Chong Wenhua are the same. Although their eldest brother is in Xuanmingzong, the martial arts of Xuanmingzong are never allowed to be leaked. Otherwise, not only their elder brother, but also their Chong family will be held accountable by Xuanmingzong. Xuanmingzong is common in the entire Great Jin Kingdom, but it is a huge monster for the people in the city and the Chong family. Irritated Zanmingzong, and Zanmingzong destroyed the Chong family, but it was just a sentence. Human-level martial arts, it's mine. Chong Wenhua roared in his heart. The city lord pressed his hands down, and a group of teenagers suddenly turned off. City lord said, "Now, I will announce the rules of this trial." The city lord touched the bracelet in his hand, and more than 1,000 tokens flew out, and the city lord flicked his sleeve robe, and every token flew safely into the hands of every teenager who participated in the trial. Storage bracelet. Han Feng's pupils shrank. It turned out to be a precious storage device like a storage bracelet. This city lord is by no means a simple human level 12-star powerhouse, and the power behind it is not small. I am afraid it is from some famous family in the Great Jin Kingdom, not inferior to Zanming sect, even stronger than Zanming sect. The other teenagers also all exclaimed. Han Yu and other patriarchs secretly wiped a cold sweat. I heard that the power behind this city lord was unusual. I didn't believe it before, but now I have to believe it. Fortunately, they did not offend the city owner. The patriarch of the Chong family was stunned and a little displeased. Damn it, this city lord has storage bracelets. This kind of thing is rarely seen in Zanmingzong. If the power behind this city lord is not more powerful than Zanmingzong, I will be in the future. Even if you have become the largest family in the city, don't you still have to be under the jurisdiction of this person? In the Great Jin Kingdom, certain families were extremely powerful, resulting in only one voice in certain large cities, and that was this family. In the whole city, no one dares to provoke it. Is the country, and I dare not send any city lord to intervene in management. This kind of family is rare in the entire Jin dynasty, but it is famous, and there are strong people in the family. Seeing that every token has an ownership, the city lord said lightly, "These tokens are what you are fighting for in this trial. Each token represents 1 point. After 3 days, the one with the most points is the first person in this trial. In addition, due to the large number of people, only 50 people enter the Yufeng mountain range each time. Look at your tokens. Every token has a mark, from 1 to more than 1,000. According to the token's brand, the first 50 to enter, and so on. Many teenagers immediately picked up the token to observe. Han Feng turned behind the token, number 932. The corner of Han Feng's mouth twitched. This number is too far behind. Han Lin glanced on tiptoe, with a look of sympathy. You are too unlucky. You have to know that the more advanced you go, the cheaper you can even set a trap inside to ambush and enter. Han Feng snorted coldly. It happens to be ambushing me. I can still make a good start and take away their tokens. Han Lin thought about it. Han Feng could kill even the barbaric war bear. This time, who participated in the trial, except for Chong Wenhua, whose cultivation level is unknown, who else threatened Han Feng? Han Feng glanced at the token in Han Lin's hand. It turned out to be number 31. Han Feng was speechless. It turned out to be the first batch. Han Ru came over, flipping the token. 180. The other 7, some of the brands are forward and some are behind, but none of them are Han Feng behind. Han Feng is the biggest brand among the 10. Next is Han Rong, number 768. The voice of the city lord sounded again. You must have written down your token number. Now the city lord announces it. The trial of the human Midtown family, start now. The first 50, now enter the Yufeng mountain range. 50 people, including Han Lin, entered the Yufeng mountain range. Number 51 to know. 100. Is another batch entering. Chong Wenhua also entered this time. 101 to 150. A batch of young girls walked into the Yufeng mountain range. Gradually, the 9 people around Han Feng had entered the Yufeng mountain range. Han Feng glanced at Chong Wenjun in surprise. This Chong Wenjun turned out to be the token at the back, but he didn't know which of them was closer. Enter from 901 to 950. Han Feng got up and walked towards the Yufeng mountain. Seeing Chong Wenjun motionless, he knew about the token number. Chong Wenjun's face was gloomy. Asshole, you can't ambush this Korean style like this. Fortunately, I was prepared. There were those people who blocked it for a while, enough for me to catch up. It didn't take long. Enter from 1150 to 1200. This time, Chong Wenjun finally set off, and it can even be said that he can't wait to fly into the Yufeng mountain range. After everyone entered, the city lord said lightly to a group of family owners and high-level leaders, "Are you waiting here for 3 days or?" Han Yu hurriedly said with a smile, "For 3 days, Lord City Lord didn't care and waited here. How can we leave?" Others echoed and expressed their willingness to wait here. City Lord nodded. "In that case, let's wait here for 3 days." After saying this, the minion beside the City Lord placed a chair, and the City Lord directly sat down. In the Yufeng mountain range, Han Feng walked unhurriedly. Not long after, Han Feng looked at an open space for unknown reasons. Suddenly, Han Feng smiled. "You don't need to show your ugliness with this little trick, just come out." In the open space in front, there was obviously a trap, which seemed perfect, but after Instructor Lin's presentation, the trap at this moment was full of errors in front of Han Feng. Shoo. More than 20 figures walked out from behind the giant tree, staring fiercely one by one. Han Feng smiled disdainfully. "I thought it was someone, but I didn't expect it to be a few running dogs from the Chong family. There are more than 100 families in the city. Some families have taken refuge in the Han family, and naturally some have taken refuge in the Hong family and the Chong family. The rest is to remain neutral." At this moment, the one who appeared in front of Han Feng was a child of the Chong family named Chong Jufan. The remaining 20 or so people are members of the Chong family's 5 or 6 families. The 5 or 6 families did not gather, but the power of more than 20 people still gave Chong Jufan a lot of confidence. Chong Jufan smiled. "Han Feng, I know you are great, otherwise Chong Wenjun won't suffer, but we have more than 20 people here. No matter how powerful you are, you can still be our opponent to more than 20 people. What's more, Chong Wenjun is estimated to be there now. Forgot to say, Chong Wenjun is now a martial artist with 6 main lines. Do you think you can escape? The last time you were just a sneak attack, this time." Chong Jufan sneered. "Sneak attack." Han Feng was disdainful. It seems that Chong Wenjun didn't report the truth at all. That's right. The sneak attack failed and suffered a big loss. Presumably Chong Wenjun didn't have the face to say it, so he could only push everything to him. Body. It is no wonder that more than 20 warriors who have opened up one main channel and two main channels dare to surround him like this. Even among the 20-odd people, there are very few who are still at the peak of the mortal stage. Renjiangcheng, with so many families, it is impossible for each family to have as many geniuses as the Han, Hong and Chong families. For the small family in Renjiangcheng, it is already an elite genius of the family to open up the main line under the age of 15 and enter the middle stage of the mortal stage. Facing more than 20 people, Han Feng was extremely indifferent. If he were really an ordinary martial artist with 4 main lines, he would indeed panic. It's a pity that not only did he break through to the 7 main vein martial artists, he was not an ordinary 7 main vein martial artist. Kill him for me. Chong Jufan saw that Han Feng was not panicking, he couldn't help being furious, and immediately ordered a group of young warriors around him to attack Han Feng. Who killed Han Feng? Master Chong Wenjun will have many rewards. Thinking of the 2nd level and 3rd level pills in Chong Wenjun's hands, Chong Jufan was very excited. Go to death. Han Feng's internal strength erupted, and even the basic long punch and basic leg skills were useless, and he blasted out with a violent punch. Bang bang bang. Ah. There were screams repeatedly. Many mid-mortal martial artists want to rely on internal strength to protect their bodies, but Han Feng's current punch can be easily blocked by only 1 or 2 main veins. At the moment, the warrior who rushed up quickly flew out again, and even many warriors made a clicking sound, the bones in the body were broken, and they screamed again and again. Chong Jufan's face changed drastically. Impossible, more than 20 people were killed all at once. Then Chong Jufan pointed at Han Feng and shouted, "You are not a martial artist with the 4 main veins, absolutely not." Han Feng curled his lips. When did I say that I am a martial artist with the 4 main veins? Chong Jufan was speechless, but, Han Feng knew what Chong Jufan wanted to say. Nothing more than Chong Wenjun told him that Han Feng belonged to the 4 main lines of warrior. Han Feng mocked, "You still believe what Chong Wenjun said? To tell you the truth, I didn't attack Chong Wenjun when he was injured. On the contrary, Chong Wenjun used the despicable means of sneak attack. Unfortunately, Chong Wenjun was too useless, and he didn't succeed in the sneak attack. Instead, I kicked out the blood." Chong Jufan was stunned, never expected things would be like this. Soon, Chong Jufan wanted to understand the ins and outs. Damn it, Chong Wenjun knew that Han Feng was powerful, and never thought that I would kill Han Feng, but just wanted to use me to delay time. No wonder Chong Wenjun was so generous. I have a lot of rewards for killing Han Feng, I can't kill Han Feng at all. Han Feng moves towards Chong Jufan step by step. Chong Jufan shouted, "Han Feng, don't kill me, I can attract Chong Wenjun." Han Feng stopped. Chong Jufan was immediately happy, but the next moment, Chong Jufan's eyes widened in horror. Seeing Han Feng flicker, he came to Chong Jufan. When Chong Jufan reacted, Han Feng had already grabbed his heart. Is impressively using claw condensing power. Why? Chong Jufan vomited blood and fell unwillingly, his eyes dimmed. Even if he died, Chong Jufan still had a longing for life in his eyes. Han Feng replied softly, "Because you don't need to quote, Chong Wenjun will come by himself." Killed Chong Jufan, and Han Feng walked towards more than 20 people before him. These people cried and called for their parents, hoping that Han Feng would spare their lives. Han Feng, we were wrong, go around us. Yes, we are all blinded by Chong Wenjun, we deserve to die, don't kill us. As long as you spare me, I promise our family will join the Han family, please. Han Feng's expression is cold. If my strength is inadequate, will you let me go? Come to our Han family. Do you think you are the head of your family? Our Han family doesn't need a weak-willed family like you. In the end, more than 20 people were killed by Han Feng. Training in the Yufeng mountain range, Han Feng has long since been afraid of killing. Han Feng sat cross-legged, surrounded by dead bodies. Not long after, a figure rushed forward. Han Feng stood up and said, "Chong Wenjun, I have been waiting for you for a long time, and finally come." Chong Wenjun appeared, his face suddenly changed when he saw the **** corpses around him. And Wenjun was terrified of the corpse. With Chong Wenjun's temperament, many people died in his hands, and many of them suffered tragic torture before they died. But those were all one-on-one. At this moment, I suddenly saw more than 20 tragic corpses. The person I wanted to kill was standing among the corpses. The small face was cold, and a panic of terror was involuntarily raised. The feeling that Han Feng gave him at this moment is like a **** of death, a devil. As soon as he gritted his teeth, Chong Wenjun recovered and cursed himself secretly. The **** devil is just a martial artist with the 4 main veins. What are you afraid of? Han Feng, you are so bold. You killed Chong Jufan's trash and didn't escape. You are still here waiting for Ben Xiao. But this also saves Ben Xiao's time. It kills you, and then kills the remaining elite geniuses of your Han family. Your Han family must be very painful. Chong Wenjun stuck out his tongue and picked it up with a smile. The face is evil. Diamond finger. The fierce inner strength is concentrated on the index and middle fingers of Chong Wenjun's right hand. The majestic inner strength, constantly rotating. There was a humming sound in the air. Go to hell. Chong Wenjun yelled and stabs Han Feng with one finger. This means that if you pierce a boulder as high as one person, the entire boulder will be penetrated or even torn apart. Small bugs. Han Feng didn't put Chong Wenjun's blasting fingers in his eyes and blasted out a punch. The violent inner strength directly touched Chong Wenjun's finger. What? A scream sounded, and Chong Wenjun quickly backed away, clutching his fingers, his face pale. The big drops of sweat covered his forehead. One is the first 6 main channels, the other is the peak of the 7 main channels, not the ordinary 7 main channels. Because of the 9 flames different fire art, Han Feng's inner strength is more solid and domineering, comparable to the 8 main vein martial artists. Chong Wenjun's blasting diamond finger doesn't even have a Dacheng realm, and the result can be imagined. Chong Wenjun's finger broke directly. Damn it, how could it be possible? I'm a martial artist with 6 main veins. Chong Wenjun roared wildly in his heart, turning to Han Feng's cold face. Chong Wenjun suddenly felt like an ice cellar. No, this guy must have opened up 7 main veins, even 8 main veins. It is impossible for the Han family to have so many elixirs, so this kid must have cultivated himself. It's really horrible. The spies could find out before that this kid has opened up 3 or 4 main lines in a month. I still don't believe it. Now it seems that it may be true. Otherwise, I won't climb to this point in a short time. I must tell the 3rd brother and the family the news. Let this kid grow up, sooner or later Renjiangcheng will be the Han family's world. Thinking of this, Chong Wenjun ran away in a hurry. Want to escape? Han Feng curled his lips, and ran after him as soon as he moved. Han Feng's cultivation base is much higher than that of Chong Wenjun. No matter how Chong Wenjun escapes, Han Feng will be chasing after him. Chong Wenjun is anxious. Boy, stay alive, are you really going to kill me? Han Feng looked at Chong Wenjun with an idiot's gaze. Even if I let you go, you will stop here. I really think I am an idiot. Chong Wenjun ran away and shouted anxiously, as long as you let me go, I will never do anything against you again. Han Feng sneered. What about your 3rd brother? Where is your 2nd eldest brother? Where is your family? Don't make me a text trap. Chong Wenjun was stagnant, but Han Feng suddenly saw the loopholes in his writing. Chong Wenjun's face is stubborn. Since you don't let me go, just die with me. Chong Wenjun was not running away, and attacked Han Feng frantically. Han Feng's expression of disdain. It depends on you. Bone breaker. Between the 2 of them, Han Feng's bone smasher immediately activated. Click, click, click. Ah. The sound of severed fingers sounded more violently than before, and many wild birds were taken away. Chong Wenjun was limp on the ground like a snake, his body twisted and weird to the extreme. Chong Wenjun's resentful voice sounded intermittently. My third brother will definitely, kill you. After saying this, Chong Wenjun completely died. Han Feng said lightly, even if your 3rd brother doesn't look for me, I will go to your 3rd brother. If you kill your 3rd brother, Chang's family will definitely be irritable. Putting away the token, Han Feng couldn't help but admire. I don't know how the city lord's token was made, but it can't be put in the storage container. Fortunately, the token is not big, only the size of an adult's thumb, otherwise it is really difficult to carry. Putting the token into a bag, Han Feng jumped away. The storage belt given by the training family has long been taken back. But when Han Feng killed Chong Tianyi, he received Chong Tianyi's storage belt. The family generally would not forcefully collect the items obtained by the children of this family, so this Chong Tianyi storage belt was always used. Han Feng took it. Just now, Han Feng wanted to put the token into the storage belt, but he didn't succeed. Renjiangcheng is too small in the end, and information is poor. If it was in Dachengqi, Han Feng would know that there are limits to the storage of things. The token is made of materials that exceed the storage belt, or the storage belt of Chong Tianyi, so it can't fit in. Is also a storage belt with a gap. There is no doubt that Chong Tianyi's storage belt is the lowest level among storage belts. In the Yufeng mountain range, there are constant scramble for tokens. Han Lin tried to condense his claws, and the 3 teenagers in front of him fell to the ground. Han Lin smiled lightly. It just hurt you and left your lives. Hand over the token and go. With your strength, let's wait for 3 days outside the Yufeng mountain range, otherwise you will die out of 10. The 3 teenagers in front of Han Lin were just small families. One of them was able to get through a main line, and the other 2 were the peaks of the early stage of the mortal stage and had not yet entered the middle stage of the mortal stage. The 3 teenagers smiled bitterly, handed over the token, and limped away with disappointed expressions. Han Lin's strength greatly affected their self-confidence. In their family, they are elites and geniuses. But in this family trial, they are at the bottom. Watching the 3 people leave in disappointment, Han Lin sighed, a little confused. I'm also a genius in the family, and it's not bad in the family trial, but what about outside? Soon, Han Lin's eyes became firmer. I can't just keep my gaze in the family and people in the city, otherwise how can I surpass Han Feng? At this moment, footsteps came from the side, and Han Lin was taken aback. It's you. On the other side, Han Ru looked indifferent when facing the attackers. Damn, this stinky lady doesn't take us in the slightest. Huh, the geniuses of big families are so arrogant. Hey, wait until we give her to that, I'm afraid it won't be this expression. Hey, maybe I will beg us to do it again. A few sneak attackers once again shot. www.mtlnovel.com, Juingzong. Quote. Happiness. A few sneak attackers fell to the ground instantly, their eyes were full of horror, and their eyes gradually lost their anger. Han Ru put away the token and left calmly. Please, let us go. You must not die. Near Chong Wenhua, there are full of dead bodies, all of them tragically dead. Chong Wenhua looked contemptuously. A bunch of miscellaneous things, death is not enough. Soon, Chong Wenhua looked at the last person. This person was Han Rong. Han Rong was pale and desperate. The people of the Han family should die. Han Rong spouted blood, his abdomen was penetrated by Chong Wenhua. Han Rong gritted his teeth. Our family will avenge me. Chong Wenhua sneered again and again. Vengeance. I'll wait. As night fell, the battle in Yufeng Mountain gradually subsided, waiting for the next day. The next day, Han Feng counted the tokens in the bag. Good luck. Yesterday, except for Chong Wenjun and the group, we met nearly 20 people. Now the number of tokens is over 40. I remember Han Lin said that the last time Han Mo in their first place seemed to be more than 200 yuan. The third day is the fiercest competition and the day when you get the most tokens. Before that, try to strive for more than 100.